Poverty is a serious challenge in many parts of the world. Millions of people live with low incomes, few opportunities, and barely manage to survive. It often feels like most problems come from not having enough money. So, a natural question comes up: why can't governments just print more money? Wouldn't everyone suddenly be richer and happier? At first glance it sounds simple, but in reality, it doesn't work that way. In this video, we'll explore why governments can't just solve poverty by printing money. What happens when more money is printed? If you ask adults or teachers, they'll quickly reply, it causes inflation. But what exactly is inflation? Inflation is when prices rise because people have more money, but the supply of goods stays the same. The economy is built on supply and demand. If goods are plentiful but few want them, prices drop. If goods are scarce but demand is high, prices increase. That's inflation. When inflation spirals out of control, it turns into hyperinflation. Example: bread inflation. Imagine a loaf of bread costs $5. 5 people, Bob, John, Alex, Jack, and Tony, each have $5. The bakery has exactly 5 loaves, so each person can buy one. Now, the government prints more money and gives everyone an extra $5. Suddenly, each person has $10, but there are still only 5 loaves. Now everyone wants to buy 2 loaves. Since demand is higher but supply is unchanged, the baker raises the price to $10 per loaf. In the end, each person still walks away with just 1 loaf, but they've now paid double. Nobody is richer, the money just lost value. The same thing happens upstream with wheat farmers. Bakeries try to buy more wheat, but fields can't instantly grow more. The shortage drives wheat prices up, forcing bakeries to increase bread prices even further. Conclusion: inflation. So, printing money without increasing the supply of goods and services only fuels inflation. Prices rise, while money loses purchasing power. Historical examples: Weimar Republic, Germany, 1920s. After World War I, Germany was drowning in reparations and debts. The government printed money to cope. By 1923, prices were doubling every few hours. A loaf of bread that cost 250 marks in January soared to 200 billion marks by November. People carried banknotes in wheelbarrows. Zimbabwe, 2007 to 2008. After land reforms and poor economic management, the government turned to printing money. By 2008, inflation reached almost 96% per year. The Zimbabwean dollar was so worthless that people used stacks of it as scrap paper or even fuel for fires. Venezuela, 2016. Despite having the world's largest oil reserves, the country became overly dependent on oil revenue. When oil prices collapsed, the government kept its generous subsidies alive by printing money. Hyperinflation followed, and the national currency became so worthless that people literally threw it in the streets. These cases prove that printing money as a solution always ends in disaster. Why not print money just to pay foreign debts? Even if new money isn't handed out to citizens but only used to pay international creditors, it still increases the total money supply. Other countries notice immediately. Currency markets, reports, and inflation data reveal it. Creditors won't accept devalued money because it undermines repayment value. This destroys trust and damages the country's reputation globally. The real solution. The right path is to create real value. Governments should invest in education, technology, infrastructure, and entrepreneurship. When businesses grow, they hire workers, produce more goods, and keep competition strong, which keeps prices stable. Countries like Japan and South Korea followed this approach and became economic powerhouses. So in the end, printing money is the easy shortcut, but it doesn't make anyone richer. True wealth is created when economies expand production and value, not just the money supply.